We can start the class. So in last class, we have seen tuples, uh, set, and list. Okay, and all these are collection data types. And what is collection data type? Collection data type which store multiple values. Okay, okay, thanks. Now, today we will see dictionary. Okay, so dictionary uh, is means if you have to store value inside a dictionary, so the bracket that we use is a mainly a curly bracket. Okay, curly bracket. And in dictionary, there are two things. Uh, One is key and values. Okay, so let's say if you create any variable, let's say a, then inside that there can be multiple key. Let's say key value 1, comma key 2, value 2, and if you so these two value, so keys are always string. Okay, and value can be any data type. Okay, for example, let's say if I have to store some student information. Okay, student information. So let's say I created some variable b, and inside that, let's say I want to store student information. So in that, I want to save name. So name is basically key, and so this is represented in this form: key then value, key colon then value. So let's say inside that, if you want to, let's say Raj. Okay, so this is name. Then let's say age. So again, age will be key, and then let's say age is a number. Let's say 32. Okay. Then let's say phone number. Phone number. All the key will be put inside a inverted string, inverted commas. Okay. Then phone number. Uh, you can say 81824365. Any number you can. It is up to it. Then let's say email ID. So that is also a key. Then email ID, let's say bi@gmail.com. Okay. Then close the bracket. So here the keys are, if you have to name keys. So name is one of the key. Name, age, phone number, email ID. So these are keys, and um, so these are keys. Values will be like Raj 32, then phone number, then email ID like bi at the rate. So these are value. So dictionary, in dictionary you can store the value with using keys and values. Okay. And let's say if I have to access name, so what I can do, b of name. So it will return Raj. Okay, so if you have to access any value, then you have to access it through keys. Okay, so if you have to access Raj, then Raj is a value, and so you have to access it through name. Similarly, let's say if you have to access the age, then age is accessed by b of age. Okay, So dictionary is useful in this way. Inside a dictionary, you can, if I give some one more example, let's say uh, some, let's say A is a some key, and inside that I can store like list 246. Okay, so A is a key, and 246 are values. Maybe inside a dictionary, so this is a dictionary. Inside a dictionary, you can add one more dictionary. So here, let's say D is a key, and inside that, let's say C1, 2. Okay. So inside a dictionary, you are adding one more dictionary, that is D, with uh, key is a D. Okay. So here also, to access, let's say C of D, it will return C1 of 2. Okay. So this way, you can access the, if you have to access any value, this way you can access. So let's say if I have to access, for example, let's say I create one dictionary, and let's say E of F. F is the key, and let's say 2 comma 8 comma 4. Okay. Yeah. So let's say this is one dictionary. Okay. F is the key. Now let's say if I have to access the value 2, if I have to access the value 2, what should I write? Let's say first we can start with this one. If I have to access 284, what should I write? E of F. So this will return this thing, 2 comma 8 comma 4. Okay. This list it will return. Now let's say I have to access 2. So what I can write, E of F will give this one. Then it is at which position? This is 0, and this list is at 1 position. So EF of 0, it will give you output 2. Now let's say if I have to access 8, so I can write EF of, this is at which position? 1. Okay, 1 index, and inside that 8 is at which position? 0. So this will return 8. Okay, so this way you can access the values. Okay, let's start with coding. So yeah. So let's say this is the list. So this is how you can define a list. So here there are keys are name, age, and city. So and person is the variable. So if you have to, let's say person dot keys. Okay. Uh, yeah. So this will return, basically you have created one variable person, and inside that you have stored three values. Name, age, means three keys created with values. So name, age, city are keys. So this will return, okay, name, age, and cities. Okay. Let's say if you have to find what are the values, just you want to see. So values you can. So this will return the value. Okay. So this is the person is the dictionary, and if you have to access keys values, this is the way you can see what are the keys and values. Okay. Uh, this is also one of the way by which you can create a dictionary. Okay. So this is one of the way where you are putting the curly bracket, and inside that you are storing name and keys and values. Okay. So one more method by which you can create. So dict. So this will create a dictionary. So for that, what you need to write? The variable name, math, science, and English are keys, and 95, 88, 76 are values. So if you print, it will uh, return this thing. Okay. So here the keys in dictionary form means if you have to create dictionary in this format, then you have to uh, write the keys name in without inverted string. Okay, and in equal to form. While in this one, you have to create in this format. So whichever you are compatible with, you can create. Okay, but most of the time people generally use this thing. So this is more popular. So we will use this one only. Okay, now so let's say this name is city, and we have seen how we can access the values. Okay, so let's say this is a one dictionary. So person of, let's say city I want to say. So if you have to access any value, then you have to access it through its key. Okay, so city is the key. So if you have to access New York, so if you write person of city, then you will get the New York. Okay, now yeah, let's say person two, P2. Then let's say here I created one dictionary and write A and 248. Okay, then B we write, it can be inside a single inverted comma or double inverted, both are okay. So let's say B equal to some AI, this we have written, and let's say C, then inside that let's say A1 comma A1 is 4, B1 8, 32 comma 96. Okay, and D is, let's say, and E is, okay. So let's say this is a list, and sorry, this is a dictionary. And if you see this dictionary, so what are the keys? Let's first run. So the keys are A, B, C, D, E. If you have to confirm the keys, so simply write keys p2 dot keys, then it will return the what are the keys. Okay. Similarly, let's say if you have to see the values, that also you can see what are the values. So these are values. Okay. Now, so if you observe this inside this dictionary, so there is a this is a list 248. Then inside list there are uh, another dictionary. Means if you see the C, C key means the key C, inside there is a another dictionary which having value A1 and B1. Okay, so it is a mix of all sort of different data type. Okay, maybe I can write one more. F equal to 87.2. Okay, now the main thing is how we means uh, the complicated thing is how we access the value. Let's say if I have to use 32, or let's say if I have to use 4, means in key A there is a list, and inside that list three values are there, right? 2, 4, 8. Now if I have to access any of this value, so how we can access those things, that is the main task. Okay, and that is the main challenge actually here. So I want to know from you people, uh, please give it a try, that let's say if I have to access 4, okay, or maybe I can start with some example there. So let's say if I have to access 248, or if I have to see the value inside a key A, so what I can do, so P2 of A, this will return 248. Now if I have to access value 4, what should I write? Anyone?
P2 of A of 1.
P2 A of 1, correct. So this will return 4, right? Now let's say if I have to access 87.2, what should I write? P2 of depend,
Key P2 of F.
P2 of F, correct. Now, okay, so this look okay. Now let's say if I have to access 32, okay, so this is 32. Who want to tell the answer? I mean, this is bit complicated, but anyone who want to try? What should I write? So first you break the problem. Okay, so 32 is inside which key? Means the largest C. Okay, if I print P2 of C, right? What it will return? This A1 of 4, B1 of that 3296. Okay, so this 32 is inside a key C. Okay, now next thing is this will return this thing. Okay, now let's say if I have to access the value 32, so 32 is inside which key?
B1
B1. So I can write B1.
zero index.
So it will give 3296. Then so you will get this output. Now 32 is at which position? 0,
Zero index.
right? So you will get the 32. Okay, so always break the problem first, means keep start doing simple steps. So first find 32 is present inside a which key of the P2. So it is present inside a C. Then if you from C you will get this thing entire this dictionary A1 B1. Then you know okay 32 is inside a B1. So you write B1. Then you will get 3296. Then you can write 0. Okay, so this is the way to access any value. Okay, now, okay. There is one more method which we call get to find the value. Means, uh, so let's say if this is the thing. So let's say if I have to find person of city or person of age. Okay, so this will return 30. The same thing you can do it through this command as well. Person dot get and let's say age. This will also return the same thing. Now the difference is, let's say if you have to see what is the difference between when to use get and when to use this normal approach. Okay, so let's say first we will try with some. So in person, the keys are name, age, and city. Let's choose some other key. Okay, name is city, address. Okay, so this will throw error. Why? Because address is not present here. Okay, let's try the same thing with get. It will not throw any error. But let's say print. So this will return none, but it will not throw any error. So get is generally used when you means if that key is not present. So first understand, let's say what happen if error will come. So in Python, if we write a script, let's say 10, 12 line coding, and uh, let's say you write in some place person address and you will get error. Let's say while running you get error, then it will stop the execution. So let's say the error come at seventh line and total number of lines of code are let's say 20. So it will stop the program at seventh line and it will not execute the previous lines. I mean the next upcoming lines. Okay, so that is the problem. And so to handle those scenario where you think, okay, if the value is not there, address is not there, that is okay, but you should not stop the program. So for that, generally we use get method. Okay, so it handles means gracefully, means basically it handle the error gracefully. So that is the term they generally use. So this will not throw error and your program will execute successfully, means all the line, means because of that you will not get any problem. Okay, so in that scenario we generally use get method. Okay, and also you can set some default method, means let's say phone, and you want to display it with this message not found, that also you can set. Okay, so phone is not present in person, so you want to display message like in this phone is not present, so by this way you can display the message as well not found. Okay, now if you have to modify any value, so modifying any value is similar to what we have seen in a list. Okay, so you have to modify it through keys. So let's say person of city equal to New York. Okay, so this can add new entry, maybe let's say Jabalpur. Okay, and age age earlier it was 30. So if you run this thing, so now name is Alice, age is 31, city, job. Okay, so anything that you can change. Now to let's say if you have to remove any value inside a dictionary, then what you can do, person dot pop. So let's say phone you want to remove. So this will remove the phone from the list. Okay, and it the phone will means the removed part. Let's say 551234 will stored in a this phone variable. Okay, so this way you can remove. Let's say if you have to use pop item, so this will remove the last inserted item. Okay, so last inserted item was this one, city New York. So this will remove the last item. Then del is also by which you can delete that any keys value. Okay, so let's say if I use del person of age, it will delete that age. Okay, so del is used. Then clear is to clear means all the variables it will delete, means it will make the dictionary empty. Okay, so keys value we have seen, and how to access the keys and values. Item will return both. Items will return both keys and value. If you have to see, so see, uh, if this score is one of the dictionary, then if you put dot keys, then we'll get math, science, English is the key, and 95, 88, 76 are values. Okay, and items are this thing. So it will be combination of both keys and values. Okay. Uh, Here also you can find length sorted. So this already we have covered. And if you see there is a lambda, so that we'll see it later. But this is mostly the dictionary. Okay. So any question on dictionary? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. So next is a basically we'll start with if else, Elif, and then we will see loops in Python. So mainly for and while loop. Okay. So before coming to this, so first let's see condition. So by word also you can see condition is like uh, certain thing which, let's say for example, if there is a Monday, then I will go to office. Okay. So based on the day, I will decide whether to go office or not. Right? If Sunday, since we know holiday, so there is some condition, right? So if else statement is also if else, and these loops are all dependent on condition. So if the condition met, then it will execute some program. So in if else statement, the syntax or the grammar for that. So if then condition, condition, then this colon. Okay, this colon. So this colon tell. So if then condition, then colon, and then the next line. Okay. So let's say this is line number one. The next line will have a one space. This space you have to give. Okay. So uh, you need to it will automatically start, next line will start from this place. Let's say a equal to 4 or something. Okay, so this we generally called block. Okay, so this means that, so if condition met means, let's say if I give simple example, if Sunday, okay, then here the next line will start print I will not go to office. Okay, so the next line will start from after giving some space. So this we called it as a indent. Okay, and this is very important. Otherwise, it will throw error. If you do not provide indent, proper indent, so it will throw error. So, for example, if I give one more example, let's say if let's say marks greater than 33. Okay, marks greater than 33. Then I can put comma, colon, and after colon there will be a space, and then I can print, or I can, okay, pass. Okay, now let's say there I can put different condition, elif or else, maybe else mark, else print fail. Okay, so this is, we call it as a condition. Okay, so in Python, if condition, then execute this code, this block of code. Okay, so if condition is true, then only it will execute this block of code. Otherwise, it, the pointer means, let's say your program start from line number 1. Okay, and this is basically 2, 3, and let's say 2 line of code, then fourth line. Okay, so if condition is true, it will go to line number 2 and 3. If condition is false, means this condition is false, then the control directly come to line number 4. It will skip these 2 steps. Okay, so again, let's say if I have to create a if else statement for, uh, let's say, based on the number. Okay, I will decide whether the person is pass, fail, or let's say mm, null or invalid. Okay, so let's say I create one variable where I will give the number. Okay, let's say equal to 76. Okay, any number I can give, but I want to check. So maybe I can give some other variable name, mark 76. Okay, and basically my aim is to, based on the number or mark, my program should tell whether is a pass or fail using if else statement. Okay, so I have mark, then so there are, the condition can be mark greater than 33. So 33 is the, let's say, passing mark. So mark greater than 33, the output can be either true or false. Okay, if mark is, let's say, for 76 greater than 33, will it be true or false? If I put this thing, 76 greater than 33, so this is true,
True.
right? Let's say instead of mark, if I put mark equal to 16, then in that case, this condition is 16 greater than 33 will be false, correct? So to define the program or to write the program, let's say mark equal to, I'm not giving any number, or maybe let's say 16, and I have written a program, if mark greater than 33, then colon, and so print pass. Okay, else, or let's say else print fail. So what will happen? So let's say this is line number 1, this is line number 2, this line number 3, 4, and this is 5. Okay. So first it will we have a store value 16. So then program next line will execute. So next line is if, and it will check whether this statement or condition, this condition is true or false. If it is true, then it will execute line number 3. Okay. So this condition is for current scenario, this condition is false. So it will not go inside this if statement. It will directly come to fourth position and it will say there is no condition. So by default it is true and it will return fail. Okay. So let's see it through program. So let's say mark and input. So this input command is basically when you execute the program, it will ask you to enter the number or enter the marks. Okay. So if I run this and let's say type of mark. Okay. So let's say if I run this. So here if you see the center top. Okay. So here it asks enter the marks. Okay. Then let's say if I enter 45, it is string. So what extra step we need to do? Int of that. So it now if you enter 45, it will convert that into a number. Okay. Otherwise it was string. So now if I write 56, then it is a int, and if you want to see more, it is 56. Okay. That is okay. So we will ask user to enter the marks, and this enter the marks is just a message so that user know okay this is and use means programmer is asking about the marks. Okay. Now to apply let's say if else statement, if marks greater than 33, or this variable should be mark, then see if you just enter, it will directly give some space. This is the space that I am talking about. That is a 4 indent. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 dot, basically 4 indent, 4 tab you can say. Okay. So then you can execute. Okay. Print pass. Okay. Then the next else print well. Okay. Now our program will ask user to enter the number, and based on that we will print either pass or fail. Okay. So let's run this. So if I run 15, okay, it's a fail. Okay. Again, let's say if I print 67, it will return pass. Okay. Now let's say if we use edge cases, maybe let's say 112, it's saying pass, but one generally the number, let's say we assume that the highest marks we can get is 100. Okay, and the lowest we can get 0. How to cover those cases as well? Okay, so we should also put some condition uh, to check whether the number is greater than, if the number is greater than 100 or less than 0, should be invalid. Okay, so this is also one of the condition that we can put. But before that, let's see what are the how what means what are different operators by which we can check the condition. Okay, so to check the condition, maybe I can. Okay, so this actually we have already seen in the first class, but let's say x is some 14, y is 45. Okay, and we want to check the condition. So let's say this is the number and I want to check x greater than y. Okay, what it will return? This is basically a comparison operators. Okay, x greater than y, x less than y. This is true. Okay. This is also one of the x equal to y. This is false. So these are basically condition. This is basically comparison whether x is equal to y or not. X not equal to x not equal to y. So this condition will, this operator will check whether x if x is not equal to y, then it will return true. Okay, if x is equal to y, then this will return false. Okay, then x greater than equal to y. Okay, so this will check whether x is greater than or equal to y. So this will do that thing. Okay, then there is a and or operator as well. So these are the operator that we have seen. Then there is a logical operator and or not. So let's say there are multiple conditions. Okay, for example, in this one, age is 25, license is true. And if you want to check whether both the condition are true or not, means, we want to check whether the person is valid driver or not, means, so valid driver, we will check whether his age is greater than 18 and he should having a driving license. Okay, so to check that, what we can do, so first condition we will check is greater than equal to 18 and has license. So has license, here we written true. Okay, so this is basically, this line is where we are checking multiple condition using and or not. These are basically logical operator that you can use. Okay, now coming back to the problem here, the edge cases were, uh, we want that number, so number greater greater than 100 and less than 0 should print in invalid. Okay, now first to create this condition, okay, how we should write is mark greater than 100 or mark less than 0, right? This is the condition by which we can check whether uh, the number is valid or invalid. Means basically, if user enter any input which is, maybe I can check, let's say mark equal to 1 to 1. Okay, and if you have to check this, print. So this will return true. Okay. So this condition, if we have to apply these two things, then this is by using this condition we can check. Maybe let's check the other case, minus. In that case also it get true. Okay. So here now this is the condition we need to apply here. But there is if and else. So what we can do, we can add some extra elif and simply copy this condition. Okay, we can write mark less than 0 or mark greater than 100, and then we can write print invalid. Okay, so now our code is ready. So let's check this one. So let's say if I use 30 minus 34, it is returning invalid. So now it has covered all the cases, maybe 56.8. Okay, so 56.8. So it will return pass. Okay, so this is one of the program where we have applied two condition, and the last condition which remain, that can be else. Okay, so let's see with more example. For example, if you have to check whether the person is adult or not, so to do it through code, so simply we will ask user to enter the number. So let's say here age is 18. So the condition should be age greater than equal to 18. So this will check whether, if this is a true, then this line will get execute. So basically this column, after this column, the next lines always start with space, and this basically representing this block of code representing this if statement. Okay, this block of code will represent this if statement. Okay, so yeah. Now if you see again this one, so temperature 35, if temperature greater than 30, so this three line representing this basically associated with this if statement. Okay, now if you have to see this one, if you have to check whether the number is odd or even. Okay, so if number is divisible by 2, then it will be even. If it is not divisible by 2, it will be odd. So here if, then num percentage 2, so this will check remainder. If remainder is 0, then the number will be even, otherwise else odd. Okay, so this is also one of the thing. Similarly, let's say password. Yeah, so let's say let's use this code. So here we want to check the grading. Okay, so if we score greater than 90, we want to give A, then if 80, then B, 70, C, and so on. Okay, so here if you see, if then elif, and the last one will be else. Okay, and this is condition. So most important thing in if else and while, even in loops, is to write a condition. If you means the most important task is to write correct condition. If you able to write correct condition, then you can easily write any if else statement. or any loop. Okay. Also, you can write if else inside a if else uh, condition. Okay, so this we called it as a nested if else statement. Maybe we can write some program. Any doubt on if else statement, Elif? So what we can do, we can maybe I can give you some assignment uh, related to if else. Try to solve those things. Okay, and first just run all those means with what you can do. You can I will paste this notebook uh, into Google Drive. Just try to run each cell and try to understand what is happening. Okay, then once you get comfortable with that thing, then you can solve some 3 4 problems related to if else. Then you will get the confidence means you will be very much comfortable with that. This is very means easy topic like if else. uh, it will be easy once you try it. Means once you execute all these cells, then it will be easy. Okay, for you. um, yeah, so I will give some assignment, uh, not very difficult one, some assignment on if else, and try to solve it before next class. Yes. This is optional. It is up to you whether you want to do it or not. But it will be good for you if you try those things. Okay. Um, just means let's say if you're not able to uh, grab the things, just execute these cells. Okay. That is also one way of learning. Uh, First, try to understand getting familiar with the keywords. It will take some time. Uh, More and more repetition happen means then it will slowly uh, ingest into your mind. So that is the way. So try experimenting with this notebook and uh, then execute means then solve the some problem related to if else. Okay, so in next class we will see loops. So loops is also like for loop and for while loop. There also condition is there. We will see that. So most important thing is in if else and loops is to properly write the condition. And condition are nothing but you have written some condition and its output will be true or false. And the code inside that loop or that if else statement only run if that condition get true. Okay. So if you understand that thing, then for loop and while loop, if else, it will be very easy for you. Okay. So yeah, that's it for today's class. We will meet on Wednesday, same time. Okay. I will upload the notes and this notebook as well. Thank you, everyone.